Oh my god, the festive season is here again and I absolutely love it. So happy holidays from me, whichever ones you happen to celebrate. Hello there, I'm Simon, welcome to my channel. Compliments of the season, peeps. Look, I'm a big fan of Christmas, so I'm gonna keep making Christmas specials whenever I get the chance. It should be about once a year. That's usually how Christmas works. Anyway, I've been watching Downton Abbey lately, and apparently that's all the justification I need to talk about the Christmas truce. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So let's imagine that it is Christmas Eve 1914. You were hoping to be sitting around the fireplace with your family, in the comfort of your own home, probably after enjoying a rather lavish meal, the same way you usually spend your Christmas Eve. Unfortunately, about 6 months ago, some bloke called Gavrilo Princip decided to shoot the Archduke of Austria-Hungary, and even worse, his wife Sophie. Now, that may or may not have been a justified action, but because of early 19th century politics, it did kickstart a pretty big war that ended up pulling in pretty much the entire world. And that's why, instead of your usual comfy Christmas, you now find yourself in a very muddy trench, in the middle of a field somewhere in Flanders or France. You are exhausted and pretty much starving, since you've been stuck here for what feels like years, and all that time there are people on the other side of no man's land who will not hesitate to kill you if they get the chance. It wasn't supposed to go this way. When you left your home this summer, you were convinced that it would be a quick back and forth to establish your nation's dominance, and that you'd all be back home by Christmas. But tonight is Christmas Eve, and you're not home. No man's land is very quiet tonight. Deadly quiet. Nothing seems to be happening, but you can't be sure. It wouldn't be the first time that a surprise attack is being launched in the middle of the night. At any moment, the silence can be broken by a barrage of explosions, guns, and men screaming as loud as they possibly can. You expect it to. But it's Christmas Eve. Not even your enemies would be that barbaric, right? You wouldn't put it past them. But no man's land is deadly quiet tonight. Until suddenly you hear a voice coming across the chaos of no man's land. You don't really understand it at first. It's nothing like anything you've ever heard out here. And at the same time, it's also strangely familiar. And then you realize that voice isn't talking, it's singing. You don't understand the lyrics because it's in a language you only know from your government's war propaganda, but the melody is familiar enough. So are the emotions it invokes in you. This is a Christmas carol, and as the voice keeps singing, you hear other voices joining in. Voices you do understand. Voices from this side of no man's land. Your comrades' voices. And as the singing fills the air, you grab your binoculars. On the other side of the chaos, you see a group of soldiers, in uniforms you've come to know as your enemies, happily singing and waving. As the carol comes to an end, you see one of the soldiers climbing out of his trench. He bravely makes his way towards you, across the destruction of no man's land. Several of your comrades grip their rifles a little more tightly, not sure what to do. One even starts to take aim, but lowers it immediately when they notice the white handkerchief the man is waving around. He is unarmed. When the man reaches your trench, he looks at everyone with a smile, and starts making noises. They don't make a lot of sense at first, but as he repeats it over and over, it becomes apparent that he is introducing himself. He's saying his name. So one of your comrades replies with his own name, and soon everyone is sharing their names. Before long, several of the man's comrades have also made their way across, and your own friends are starting to brave no man's land as well, eager to meet these people. Soon all the trenches are filled with laughter, people introducing themselves and gleefully meeting the people from the other side, and holiday wishes in just about every language you know, and several you don't know. Everyone seems to be forgetting the exhaustion and the fear they were feeling earlier tonight. The animosity and hate between you and the people on the other side is making place for a certain kind of camaraderie. Some of the men are sharing some delicacies from their homes, and your comrades are running across with treats of their own to share. People have started exchanging buttons they pulled from their coats, hats and other tokens to commemorate new friendships. As we share a smoke with one of the officers from the other side, he proposes to use this time to bring peace to the comrades that have fallen. Men from both sides join forces to collect the bodies that are left in no man's land, dig graves and give the men who don't get to celebrate a proper burial. And so on Christmas Day, you find yourself standing between people from the other side, all paying your respects to the friends you've lost. In the middle of no man's land, people sit around to have mass together in honor of the Lord. For now, there is no distinction between the sides. The color of your coats has become irrelevant. One of your new friends offers you a bottle. As you taste just how strong it is, the air is filled with singing again. Some of the men are giving haircuts to their new friends. Walking about no man's land with your new comrades, you come across a group of people who are kicking a tin can between themselves. Someone proposes to hold a proper football match between both sides. As they start laying codes to indicate the field, more and more people join in. Everyone is eager to play, and soon the teams are made. And then the match begins. It doesn't go entirely to plan. The front line just doesn't seem to be entirely suitable for a football match. The lack of a proper ball means you have to resort to using the tin can, which doesn't exactly behave like a football. And the field has been properly torn apart throughout the last couple of months. So you're now running around a field that is 50% mud and 50% bumps, chasing a tin can in order to kick it between two coats before someone else kicks it between two other coats. But somehow you make it work. That is, until Captain Blackadder ran offside. Whatever that means. I know it's not great, but that's about the extent of my knowledge on football. The match goes back to being the casual kicking it was before, just with a little more people. As the night progresses, candles go up all over the trenches. Some people even put up makeshift Christmas trees. Throughout the night and Christmas Day, there is no fighting. Only friends and celebration. And as the last of the carols comes to an end on Christmas Day, no man's land becomes deadly quiet again. Let's not talk about what happened the next day. This feels like a great place to end the video. And with that, we also end this year of Nerdicopia. You probably won't be seeing me again this year. I mean, I've made like 2 videos in the last 3 months. There's no way I'm making another one in the next couple of days. So it's not impossible that the next video is just the second birthday of the channel. That'll be in April, so there should be plenty of time still, but I've been crazy busy lately, so we'll see. If you have any suggestions for what I should do for the anniversary, let me know down below. Everything else you can do to help the channel is in the end screen right here. So I would be super thankful if you do any or all of them. Anyway, happy holidays peeps. I'll see you next year. Thanks for watching.